All right, so get ready, because today we're diving into some serious ancient mysteries.
Oh, yeah.
We're tackling the Great Sphinx of Giza, which is a listener request, by the way.
Nice.
And we're going deep on this one, folks.
Yeah, we're not just skimming the surface.
No. We are unpacking the enduring enigma that has captivated humanity for millennia.
And you've provided us with some really excellent material to work with on this deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
Excerpts from a podcast called Mystery Stories for Sleep, which delves into...
Oh, that sounds right up my alley.
I know, right? It goes into the historical and mysterious aspects of the Sphinx.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty,
Okay.
let's set the scene, shall we? Picture this. The scorching Egyptian desert.
Okay.
The Giza Plateau stretches out under a timeless sky.
I'm picturing it, yep.
And rising from the sands, this colossal creature, part lion, part human, the Sphinx, is massive, over 240 feet long and 66 feet high.
It's truly an awe-inspiring sight, even today.
Oh, I bet.
But what's truly incredible, and what really sets the stage for our deep dive, is that we're not even sure how old it is.
Ooh, intrigue already.
I know, right?
Okay, so you've got the official estimate,
Yeah.
roughly 4,500 years old, placing its construction during the reign of the pharaohs.
Right, around there. But then
Yes.
things get interesting.
They do, because the podcast highlights these unusual erosion patterns.
Erosion patterns.
Yeah, on the Sphinx's body.
Huh.
And some researchers believe that these patterns weren't caused by wind and sand,
Okay.
but by water erosion.
Water. Hold on.
Yeah, and not just any water.
We're talking erosion consistent with, like, heavy rainfall over a prolonged period of time.
Okay, so rain in the desert is unusual enough,
Yeah.
but to cause that kind of weathering, what are the implications of that?
Well, it suggests that the Sphinx could be far older than we think,
Okay.
potentially over 10,000 years old, which means it predates the ancient Egyptians as we understand them.
Wow.
It points towards a much older, possibly even unknown civilization.
Civilization advanced enough to build something so monumental, just vanishing into the mists of time.
Right.
That's a pretty big deal. Now, this next part is where things get really intriguing.
Okay, right.
We've all heard the whispers about hidden chambers beneath ancient monuments, but the Sphinx takes it to another level.
It does.
So the podcast delves into this legend of the Hall of Records, said to be located somewhere beneath the Sphinx.
Right?
Imagine this, a chamber filled with ancient scrolls
Whoa.
containing knowledge that's been lost to time,
Lost to time,
possibly even records of Atlantis.
Okay, now we're
Okay, Atlantis, now we're venturing into like Indiana Jones territory.
Right.
But seriously, where did this idea even come from?
So the podcast mentions Edgar Cayce.
Okay.
He was an American psychic from the early 20th century.
A psychic. Okay.
Yeah, and he claimed to have accessed this Hall of Records through his visions.
Through his visions.
Yeah, and insisted that it held the key to understanding humanity's true origins.
Okay.
Now, whether you believe in psychic visions or not,
Right.
what's fascinating is that Cayce's claims,
Yeah.
they seem to align with some pretty intriguing scientific findings.
Oh, do tell.
So in the 1990s, a team of researchers used ground-penetrating radar.
Which basically sends radio waves into the ground to create images of what lies beneath the surface. Okay.
To scan the area around the Sphinx.
Okay.
Get this.
Yeah.
They found evidence of anomalies.
Anomalies.
Potentially voids or chambers directly under the paws.
Hold on. They found what looked like hidden chambers.
Yeah.
And nobody's gone in to investigate. Like, what are we waiting for? I need to know more about this.
Right. It's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the podcast actually explores a few different possibilities.
Okay.
One being the sheer complexity of excavating such a delicate and historically significant site.
Okay, yeah, you don't want to like accidentally damage the Sphinx or something while you're trying to like get in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Imagine the headlines.
I know, right? You don't want to mess with something that's stood for thousands of years.
Right.
But then there's also the whole like red tape issue.
Ah.
Permits, approvals, international collaborations.
Absolutely.
It probably takes years to get anything done.
Bureaucracy.
Oh.
It can be a real buzzkill, you know?
Ugh, tell me about it.
Especially when you're talking about a site as politically and culturally sensitive as the Giza Plateau.
Right, right.
But of course, this wouldn't be a true ancient mystery without a healthy dose of
Oh, I was going to say.
conspiracy theories. Or
Yes.
Oh.
Tell me more. Okay. What are the conspiracy theorists saying? Don't hold back.
All right, so buckle up,
Okay.
because some believe that those chambers
Yeah.
are being kept secret because they contain knowledge that could challenge our entire understanding of history,
Okay.
potentially even rewrite it altogether.
What are you saying?
Think about it. Evidence of a technologically advanced civilization that predates ancient Egypt.
Wow.
Like, it would turn our whole historical narrative on its head.
I can see how that would ruffle some feathers.
For sure.
But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the Sphinx itself.
Okay.
I mean, it's not just a random hunk of rock, right?
Oh, no.
There's got to be some deeper meaning behind this majestic creature.
Oh, absolutely. The Sphinx's symbolism, it's fascinating. It's this blend of human and animal, celestial and earthly.
Right.
And the podcast does a great job of exploring all these different layers of meaning.
Okay.
The lion's body, for instance,
Yeah.
represents strength, power, guardianship. In ancient Egypt, lions were associated with royalty. They were believed to protect sacred places.
Which makes sense given the Sphinx's prominent position
Yeah.
guarding the Giza necropolis.
Exactly.
Okay, but what about the human head?
Right.
That seems like a pretty crucial part of the symbolism, too.
Absolutely. It adds like another layer of complexity.
Yeah.
It's often interpreted as a representation of the pharaoh,
Okay.
speaking to the divine right of kingship.
Oh, wow.
The connection between earthly rulers and like the celestial realm.
So it's not just a guardian.
Right.
It's a symbol of royal power as well.
Yeah, and remember those erosion patterns we talked about?
Oh, yeah. The ones that suggest that it's older than we thought.
Exactly.
Yeah. How does that play in?
Well, it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities,
Mhm.
because some researchers believe that the Sphinx's alignment with the constellation Leo,
With Leo.
during specific astrological ages,
Okay.
points towards a civilization with advanced astronomical knowledge.
Really?
And this is a civilization that predates the dynastic Egyptians.
Okay, so we've got, wait,
Yeah.
so not just a guardian,
Right.
not just a symbol of royal power,
Yeah.
but possibly a giant celestial calendar as well.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
That's incredible.
Ugh.
It makes you wonder why go through all that trouble.
Right.
What was the purpose behind this grand design?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
That continues to fascinate archaeologists and historians and really anyone who's ever gazed upon the Sphinx. And the truth is, we may never know for sure,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean we can't speculate, explore all the different possibilities.
Exactly.
And just allow ourselves to be captivated by this enduring mystery.
I am all for a little speculation,
Right.
especially when it comes to something as enigmatic as the Sphinx.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of speculation, the podcast mentions some pretty wild theories
Okay.
about the Sphinx's origins and its purpose.
Oh, what?
We're talking ancient astronauts,
Oh, boy.
lost
Yeah.
civilizations,
Okay.
and even the possibility that the Sphinx's face has been altered throughout history.
What?
Where do we even begin to unpack all of that? I have to admit, those theories are pretty out there.
Right.
But the Sphinx does have this way of making you question everything you thought you knew.
It really does.
What's your take on all of this?
Well,
Do you think there's any truth to these more unconventional ideas?
it's like you said, the beauty of the Sphinx is that it invites us to consider these possibilities.
Yeah.
Things beyond our current understanding.
Right.
And while it's important to approach these fringe theories with a healthy dose of skepticism,
Oh, absolutely.
I do find it fascinating to consider how they reflect our enduring fascination with the unknown.
Yeah.
Take the ancient astronaut theory, for example.
Okay.
While it's lacking concrete evidence,
Sure.
it speaks to our awe at the Sphinx's scale and complexity.
Yeah.
Could a civilization that far back have possessed the technology to create such a monument?
It really makes you think.
It does.
What about that idea of the Sphinx's face being altered throughout history?
So some researchers point to the face's disproportionately small size, compared to the rest of the head, suggesting that it may have been recarved at some point.
Okay.
There's also the theory that the Sphinx might have originally depicted a lion's head,
Oh, wow.
which was later remodeled into the human face we see today.
interesting.
It's difficult to prove definitively without more investigation,
Right.
but it raises some intriguing questions
It does.
about how the Sphinx's image might have evolved over time,
Yeah.
reflecting changing cultural and religious beliefs.
So much of what we've discussed has revolved around what we don't know about the Sphinx.
Yeah, it's true.
But are there any aspects of its story that we can be relatively certain about?
Absolutely. Despite the enduring mysteries, there are some undeniable truths about the Sphinx.
Like what?
It was undoubtedly a symbol of immense power and importance.
Yeah.
To the ancient Egyptians.
Okay.
It played a very significant role in their religious beliefs and funerary practices.
Right.
And its positioning within the Gizan Acropolis, overlooking the pyramids,
Yeah.
suggests a connection to the afterlife.
Okay.
Perhaps even serving as a guardian to the souls of departed pharaohs.
And that sense of guardianship, of a timeless presence watching over the sands of time, it's something that continues to resonate with us today.
It really does.
Yeah.
The Sphinx stands as this testament to the ingenuity and artistry of these past civilizations.
Right.
And it reminds us of the enduring power of human creativity.
From ancient myths to Hollywood blockbusters,
Exactly.
the Sphinx continues to captivate our imaginations
For sure.
and makes you wonder what other secrets it might hold. What stories could it tell if those ancient stones could speak?
Imagine the tales it could whisper of pharaohs and priests, of forgotten rituals and ancient wisdom.
Wow.
The Sphinx is like this silent sentinel, a permanent question mark just etched against the desert sky.
That's beautiful.
And maybe that's where its true power lies, you know?
Yeah.
In its ability to inspire wonder, to remind us that there are still mysteries in the world waiting to be unraveled.
Well said. I want to thank you and all of our listeners for requesting this deep dive into the enigma of the Sphinx.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a journey through history, archaeology, and even a touch of the unknown.
I loved it.
And remember, the next time you see an image of the Sphinx,
Yes.
take a moment to appreciate the weight of its gaze, the secrets etched into his weathered features.
It's a reminder that the past is never truly gone.
Beautifully put. And with that, we come to the end of our deep dive.
Wow.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep that curiosity alive.